Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal and today I want to talk about an upcoming film called Alita Battle Angel. Now you maybe heard about this, maybe not, but Alita is actually an adaptation from cult manga series called Gundam, but with English translation it's Alita Battle Angel. The manga itself had a run from 1990 to 1995 with 9 volumes in total, and since the story itself takes place in the future and has a lot of cyberpunk elements in it, I became a huge fan. The story itself is very interesting, and even though we only have 2 episodes of anime adaptation which covers the first 2 volumes, if you want the full story you have to read the original manga. The story takes place in a city called Scrapyard. Now the whole point of Scrapyard is to provide things for Salem, the city that only has the rich and the powerful in it. And basically Scrapyard and Salem live in this, how would I say, symbiosis, but generally, even though Salem is a parasite leeching off the poor, they still have some benefits from this city up in the air. Usually everything they don't need, like all the junk and scrap and trash, usually goes down to Scrapyard, and everything they take from that and make it goes up in Salem, so it's kind of a circle that goes on forever. It really does show society in general and how this difference is now more visible than ever between the rich and the poor, but in all of that chaos there is Alita, or as she is known in Japan, Gali. Now she's an android found by Daisuke Ido who fixes her, but she doesn't remember anything, so she has to find her place in this world as an android. Obviously she is strong, a lot of things happen that I don't want to spoil for you, which do make this truly a classic, and hopefully this film that is upcoming is going to do justice towards the original thing. Now, as I said before, as show business is, it's getting a Hollywood adaptation, and we know how those ended up. I'm not saying all live-action adaptations are bad, from anime or manga. I mean, for me, Oldboy is probably the best, with Ghost in the Shell coming close, but mostly with visuals. I still don't even think that the new Ghost in the Shell movie is as good as the original anime film. As we do know, it's very difficult to adapt anime into a real live-action film. First you have to get the characters' looks, and if they don't look like in a manga or anime, it becomes harder to identify with them. And then there is the writing, which relies mostly on fights and trying to be an anime way too much. It just doesn't fit. Obviously, as technology is getting better and better, we can create amazing things and movies with CGI, and of course you have a lot of AAA movies that rely on those effects a lot, so it's a logical thing to use that to bring manga or anime to life as best as one can. One of the most amazing adaptations is this one. It's directed by Robert Rodriguez, an amazing director that created many cult classic movies like From Dusk Till Dawn, Sin City, Desperado, Spy Kids, and so much more. Now, I'm not saying all of those films are the pinnacle of filmmaking, but every one of them was revolutionary for that time, and his style could definitely bring this to a rightful place. Besides that, you have James Cameron producing this and also writing the film along with Laeta Kalogridis, who was a writer on Shutter Island, another great film. The cast is also great, featuring Rosa Salazar as Alita along with Mahershala Ali, I butchered his name, I know, Christopher Waltz, Michelle Rodriguez, Ed Skrein, and so much more. So the cast is good, the team is good, now it's just up to them to hit the right spot. Because that is what this adaptation needs, to take all of the deep feelings and details from the manga that Yukito Kishiro originally made. I also believe he is involved in this, so to have him as a creative mind during production is going to be amazing. Now the film is currently in post-production, so all of the major things are almost done. Obviously post-production is a long and very difficult process, and knowing James Cameron, there is a lot of CGI involved, and that is what I want to talk about. I am sure a lot of us are getting fed up with using CGI in almost every scene. It doesn't have to be big, it could be a small minor detail, but again, for me CGI needs to have a really good purpose to be there, and only if executed correctly, the film can benefit. Now look, I am not doubting the quality of CGI with this team. Both James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez definitely know what they are doing, but it's when you use it is what counts. You have to always have some down-to-earth moments that make a perfect synergy with CGI, something like Nolan's Batman trilogy looked like. That was great, because he used CGI along with costumes and just practical things to create this amazing film, such as the Batman trilogy from Christopher Nolan. Again, even Avatar, that relied on CGI that much, had a really good and deep story, and you could connect with every single character in that film because they were really well written. So some of the decisions like anime eyes on Alita may or may not break the immersion and quality. So far for me, it doesn't look bad at all, because if we go back to our first CGI film or our first anime adaptation, a lot of these directors and producers are still exploring like the best way to adapt an anime or manga to basically make it good. Because every single one of us that reads manga or watches anime, if we see a film, we are going to be very critical for that adaptation, so it needs to be good, it needs to hit that spot. And it's basically not thinking that anime is only about fights and looking cool, it's also about deep character stories, very good plots and twists that are done in so many animes like Naruto especially. Like, I've started watching Naruto recently, and oh my god, I am so blown away by that anime. I watched Naruto in the past, like I watched some of the episodes when I was a kid, but right now I'm going through every single episode. God damn, it's so good, it's so good. As much as we do have reasons to fear that it may flop, why not give it a chance? Let them show what they can do, and maybe this is where the curse of anime film adaptations ends. If this is a success, the future adaptations can really draw from the past to make something good in the future. I mean, even superhero movie adaptations look cringy before, but people were still exploring the best way to do it. That's why today we have amazing superhero movies, so I'm guessing that is the same thing with manga or anime adaptation. It needs time. It takes a visionary to pull this one off, and the team that is working on Alita is definitely looking promising, but as the time goes on, I can only imagine we will get better high quality things. Like it or not, Hollywood is going to try until they don't hit the sweet spot. Maybe Alita is just that, because Hollywood is never going to try to make a good adaptation, because you never know if you are going to make a cult classic or are you going to flop like so much. Like Dragon Ball adaptation flop, that was so bad. So that is all I have for today. I will be following more about this film. I'm also experimenting with new content on the channel, so if you like this, smash that like and subscribe button for more. And tell me what you think about this down below in the comments. LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.